Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And before the grand finals kicked off yesterday for the Stage 2 Major, there was certainly a lot of spice on the timeline we are going to dive into today. And on the other side of things, gentlemen's agreements are back on the menu for world discussing today, especially in the Challengers region. Seems like Camos, default Camos, have been GA'd in the Challengers region. Not exactly sure why. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. And this, of course, is what we saw just a couple of days ago when OpTic lost that incredible 1 vs 3 Game 5 Round 11 to accuracy. We are witnessing a breakdown, say, the Minnesota Rokkr. Scump wasn't too happy about it, as we did discuss yesterday, and then, of course, they end up deleting this tweet and making the apology. Now, HECZ comes out and replies, says, COD community needs some Tyler, the creator, tweets today. Really hated to see Rokkr back down like that, says Jacob. You got to teach people how to be the villain. I get Seth is upset that they lost, that being Scump, of course, especially, anyone would be 100% in that situation, but, you can't care about what a team tweets, even if it's screwed up. Fire back or ignore it, period. Add fuel to the fire next tourney so you can come crazy on the timeline when you beat them, says says X. Scump does come in reply a little bit further down to say, look, if my own wouldn't do it, if my team wouldn't do it, I do not expect others to. Villain or not, it is whack. I know for a fact we wouldn't put another team down like that. Just respect to the players. Minnesota are definitely not the villain type either. Just this whole situation was forced. Well, maybe kind of over the top given the situation, you could certainly argue. But HECZ comes out and spits some fire on the timeline as well. So, well, as Kostov comes back here. So there was a bit of a thread that was saying, okay, the OpTic guys are just a bit soft for getting frustrated at this situation. We can have a look at this tweet from Kostov right here. So, Rokkr actually deleted their tweet, trash talk tweet, because of Scump whining. Trash talk is a critical part of esports. This was quality, and Kostov, well, is saying come on, Rokkr, you got to keep this one up. But, well, then HECZ comes out and reply, do you guys even remember Elevator TK? So kind of calling out the owners, of course, Kostov over it, the Team Caliber squad that had such a great Call of Duty team for a while, but they've kind of, disappeared into irrelevancy really the last couple of years. Me neither, says HECZ, until today, where of course I saw that I still followed the CEOs of those incredible orgs. Imagine being so soft you couldn't build a sustainable business in these harsh esports environments. So HECZ coming out with certainly some interesting tweets at the very least. Kostov says, by the way, I can post videos on Call of Duty showing how to handle smack talk and making some jokes back. Banter is an important part of the community and I would never change it. And I think HECZ did make a video kind of explaining this in more detail, saying, okay, well, this wasn't banter, this was just straight up beef because I don't necessarily get along with these guys. Okay, let me give it one final go. UMG 2014, soft is when apparently when Keemstar supposedly spilled drink on your girl and you ran away and didn't do anything to him. No shove, no push, no nothing. Straight up soft. HECZ kind of calling out Kostov. So interesting drama and beef on the timeline as a result of something which I thought, could have been so much of a lesser deal than it turned out to be. But, it is what it is, I suppose. This I thought was pretty funny as well. So Bossman right here, at HECZ, pick up methods. Bench Dashy is too inconsistent. That's how you're going to build the super team. Bench Dashy is the solution. You've seen my belly. Would you take advice from me on how to lift weights? That's all I'm thinking of you as I am reading what you wrote. And I thought it was kind of funny because Roger, of course, over at the OpTic guys, he will tweet this out when he used to be in Team Caliber and Elevate, the two organizations that Hector, now his boss, is calling out, well, straight up on the timeline. Placer does come out with an interesting thread as well to kind of sum up the situation. Part of our job is to build brands and connect with fans on social media. That means we read everything, then get told, lol, have tough skin when people are kicking us in the balls repeatedly. Just a damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. There's a grey line as he kind of says right here. There's no rule book for what is off limits. Getting mad at a team for tweeting something and then in the same breath being mad that CDL teams have no personality is laughable. No one is ever going to feel satisfied and someone is always going to feel slighted. Don't even know what point I'm trying to make at this point. It's either you criticize everyone and every team for their tweets or trash talking, or you let it all go and nobody is out of the question when it comes to getting toasted. People just love to outrage at something. Scump comes back in reply as well, says, look, I ignore 99.9% of stuff. The one time I do not, I just get called soft. It is how it is. Let's talk about this then. So as GodORX says yesterday, Hacky and Zinx, that being Parasite and Zinx, of course, in the amateur scene, they're kind of been a duo of times in the GA side of things, have agreed to gentleman's agreement default skins. I'm officially done. I've heard it all. What is even going on anymore? I'm really not sure why this is even the case. I'd love you guys to explain it to me exactly why the default skins have been GA'd. I think Zinx comes out with some sort of explanation in a second, but I'm not even sure what it potentially means. Seems like all the amateurs are mind blown at this, and I'm pretty sure the pros have to use the default skins anyway at the the default camos on their guns. I imagine that being no camo at all, or does he just mean like the camos you get like unlocked through like working through public matches and stuff like this and getting the headshots? I'm not even really sure, but if you guys aren't aware, in the Pro League games they don't actually use their own team camos, and they don't actually use the character models as well, like the actual the Atlanta FaZe, for example, character skin that you have. They just add that in post-production. I'm not exactly sure how it's done, but it was done last last year as well. All the players just don't want anything, completely default, and then in post-production, somehow they manage to, you know, add the skins on, and well, to the weapons, and also the characters themselves for that kind of promotional element that it brings to the game. And I think it's good for the viewer experience as well. So the pros use all the default stuff, because well, they're not allowed to use the other stuff, so that it doesn't override the kind of, well, overlay that the CDL manages to do on the back end. As Chino says, man has just told me to take my camo off, as well, Chino's not particularly happy with this situation. You know, where are the cameras? Man, it says GodRx in reply. It's a breakdown in the chat right now, says Brian Ted. Good thing I'm not even there anymore, says GodRx once again. And Arcitys says, you know, wait, what is even going on? We can only use the default skins because of this reason that I did just discuss. And as X comes out in reply, it's just something I agree with, brother. Nothing wrong with that, man. I can't make people agree to it. I just think it would be cleaner and smoother, that is all. And clearly HECZ along these lines as well. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily been GA'd quite as of yet, but well, if HECZ is kind of leading the charge here, because supposedly Parasite was leading the charge a little bit for the QBZ GA, which has happened now in the North American Challengers region, because yeah, the gun was too strong, do-it-all weapon, this type of stuff. That hasn't happened in the Pro League yet, and we'll have to see what the meta exactly looks like after this, meta change that comes in from this new patch update. 60 Hz is certainly different to 20 Hz at the servers, the servers that they have been practicing on, but I believe now the pros can play 8 and practice on these 60 Hz servers as well. The Krig supposedly an absolute monster in that situation, and also the Krig got even better with this new patch. So will the ARs be even too strong in this new meta? That is a possibility, and whether GAs will be an even bigger conversation rather than just this in the coming days, that may well be the case once again. Thought this is kind of entertaining from Formula as well, now that it is a new day. Yesterday was just very unfortunate. Proud of the team for battling that series and looking forward to stage 3. Also, imagine how funny it would be if they released the comms and you hear me say in a whiny voice, he is just too icy bad on accuracy, of course, having a, phenomenal result, of course, the stars line for Lamar, and it is what it is. Lots more competition to be played so far this year for the rest of the year. Appreciate the support, as always, for the OpTic guys. Wanted to, mention some interesting stat stuff right here as well. So, highest win percentage when planting the bomb on certain sites, A Miami, B Raid, and A Moscow. Now, this makes sense. I think, A Moscow and B Raid actually are surprisingly high. I think B Raid is especially high, given that Miami, we know that A Bomb on Miami is very hard to retake if you get that down, but B Bomb site on Raid also has a very high win percentage, which is, definitely shows, I think, why Toronto is so good at this map, because pretty much every single round, not every single offense, but a lot of the time, they will just rush B, completely bring out ring control, get the bomb down for laundry, and just play the post plant, right? And that seems to be working out phenomenally for them. They do that on 70% of their offensive rounds or something like that, and they win probably, 73% of them if you're going along with, the average in the league right now. And on the low side of things, B Express, B Checkmate is somewhat difficult to hold. So thought these were some interesting stats. Maybe in league play you should start changing what bomb sites you go to in the strats you run based on some of these statistics in the Pro League. And this I thought was also interesting, as Cog Complex tweets out as well. This is before the major, so it doesn't include stats from the major. But look at the difference between these players when they have the bomb and when they do not. So Scump, Shotzzy, for example, when they don't have the bomb in hand, like on defense, and when they're not having it on the offense, their KDs actually look very nice indeed. But Scump, when he has the bomb in hand, it seems like his job is just get the bomb down and nothing else. He has a 0.46 in rounds where he does have the bomb in hand. And, some players you can see right here don't have too much difference about it, but, interesting to see at the top end of this one that, some players seem to struggle when they do have the bomb in hand. This I thought was crazy as well from Carson. Updated S&D First Blood visualization. Look at this, right? So over on the right-hand side here, this is engagements per round. No surprise that aBeZy has the most First Blood engagements. I mean, almost 0.45. He's involved in something like almost half of their First Blood engagements that FaZe ever get into. Oh, well, aBeZy's involved in it. TJ's not far behind. Other players you would expect to not far behind. And at the top end here, these are the players that almost always win their First Blood engagements. Insight wins 75% of his First Blood engagements. When he gets in a fight and it is the first fight of the round, he wins it 75% of the time. Awakening not too far behind. You can see Bance and Slack down here right at the bottom. Clinics as well. But I'm sure these guys much improved this major. Of course, this is pre-major, but I thought it was interesting and a good time to talk about it right here. Thought I'd mention this as well that Doug Lieb comes out with. This is finishing, I believe, tomorrow or, a couple of days from now. He's offering $250 for the best submission. So he's published a piece where he's like, look, he thinks innovation in Call of Duty has slowed down. He wants someone to come up with a plan for how you could potentially win a grand finals of a major. I think he says, okay, you're going into the World Championship. Your team is a 25% favorite to win. Definitely not the favorite in the team, the underdog massively. What are you doing to prepare for this game? You can basically do anything and say whatever you want to prepare this team the best. And if Doug thinks you've given the best submission, he's putting up $250 of his own dollars for you guys to win. So I'll leave that link down below if you guys want to get involved. Thought I'd mention it just before it finishes. And also, of course, on the whole topic, right, of Toronto winning this incredible event, and the Splice team that was last time up that they won the last European team to win an event with Spice. I did remember this that came out from HECZ not too long ago. I mean, actually, it was way back in March now. But as you can see, this was OpTic versus Spice. I believe this was the Las Vegas Open right at the start of, well, the end of 2018, but right at the start of the Black Ops 4 season. And well, what a phenomenal tournament this was. This was that crazy Seaside Hardpoint combat you guys might remember. Well, this is where we used to be on LAN. And well, an event like this, which was so crazy for this, well, this past weekend, the Stage 2 Major, and well, Toronto get the W. There were so many phenomenal moments that would have been so good on LAN. I'm sure, well, hopefully it is only a matter of time until we can get back here. And, I doubt for the Stage 3 Major, maybe for Stage 4 Major, Stage 5 Major, the World Championships LAN. It seems that certainly to be a possibility at the very least. Well, I just thought, well, this clip once again to finish off the video with the final clutch of Banter's incredible 10-0 Search and Destroy on here on Express. I mean, well, how often is it that a player manages to go flawless against a team like Atlanta FaZe? Credit where credit is due. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
One of the most unbelievable days of Call of Duty chance. This is a highlight reel of Benjamin Bance, who, from the fans wishing him to be dropped from the roster and bringing on a more adept player or whatever, to literally stealing the show today.
I mean, Miles, I'm thinking about just a few weeks ago when Toronto matched up against in the regular season of Stage 2 against FaZe. I mean, by the end of it, Bance was literally putting his controller down in defeat because of how bad FaZe was beating them. I mean, 3-0 against Toronto. Toronto literally just giving up. It seemed like at times the mental fortitude they just had to show up on Sunday just to get to the grand finals was impressive in and of itself.